Welcome to the Now That's Weird radio show on TV, and with me is Sharon White Elk Woman. Sharon, welcome.
Good morning. How are you?
Cold.
Yeah, it's a bit breezy, sun and cloud this morning, but it's cool. It's cool.
I've got to tell you that when we sat down here, the sun was out, I was warm, everyone was taking their coats off, and the minute we sat down, the clouds come over. Isn't that not typical?
Yeah, exactly. I'm just sitting here thinking, I should put my coat on.
Right, now, 2012, everyone's panicking, the film's come out, Sony have told us the world's going to end, the Mayans have got this calendar saying the world's going to end. It's all been misinterpreted, hasn't it?
Yeah, I think it's very hyped up. I mean, as you know, when we've spoken before, I don't believe that it's the end of the world, as in cataclysmic, apocalyptic, but yeah, we're going to have natural disasters continuing as they are. But for me, it's very much about the energy shift, the awakening that's going on. So beyond 2012, I just feel we're going to be a very different, energetic planet. You know me, I have my rose-coloured glasses on, and I've always said that hopefully beyond 2012, we'll all be working from the heart. I think as human beings, our vibrations are lifting, certainly, and people are, becoming more and more aware of that with things like what they're eating. The energies are getting lighter. A lot of people can't eat meat or, got the wheat intolerance, things like that. So, yeah, I mean, obviously with regards to the Mayans, I mean, there's the, there is the calendar, but it's not that they've just stopped it there. It's just that that's the end of one dimension as they perceived it and the beginning of a new dimension. I know you always say they ran out of ink. I'm going to get that one in before you do this time. But yeah, I mean, there's certainly a lot on the internet at the moment, and just recently, bib, somebody was either agreeing or disagreeing. Just recently, there's been quite a lot come through from Don Alejandro, the Mayan priest in Guatemala, I believe. I haven't actually read any of the stuff, but I do know that he's very, it's a big word coming up here, vehemently. He's kind of refuting and kind of telling it as it is from the Mayan perspective, which is not from the whole conspiracy kind of perspective. Well,
let's just stop on that point, because it's the whole Mayan thing that's been taken out of context, really, hasn't it? Because, yeah, if you look at the Mayan calendar, it doesn't actually predict the end of the world, it predicts the end of a cycle.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, they're talking about us moving from the fourth dimension, if you like, so from their fourth long count calendar and whatever it is. I mean, my history and my intellectual knowledge, as you know, is not that great. I'm not as read as you. What I get from them upstairs. But yeah, it is. It's very much about the end of a dimension and entering into a new dimension. And for me, that's much more about energy and the way we live, the way we feel, the way we think, the way we're acting, behaving with the planet, how we're treating the planet. And yeah, I mean, Mother Earth obviously is kicking up a bit of a stink from time to time, because over the years, through the other dimensions, we haven't treated her particularly that well. So there we go. There's a lovely thundering motorbike there, either agreeing or disagreeing. The joys of filming outside.
Well, that's the beauty of it, isn't it? Now, tell us a little bit about these two guys either side of us.
Well, this one here is awaiting a new caretaker, and we've just spent a fabulous week in Cornwall, and I have a sneaking suspicion it's actually going to end up in Cornwall, this one. But it's been with us for a while. I've got no names for it. I don't really know anything about it because it's not coming to me. It's not staying with me. But this one to me connects me very much to the stars. I mean, the star beings always say to me, well, we're stars and stars, and the earth beings like Manica, who is one of my own personal family to the other side of you, they're very much earth and stars. They both connect us to the same place, off-world beings, whatever you want to class it as, really. But they've been talking to each other very much this week, and they were both absolutely insistent they came down to Cornwall for some reason or another. So, and here they are today, showing themselves. So, yeah, I mean, these guys will be. Well, actually, that one might not be if it's going to a new caretaker, but certainly Manica. He's had a hand in the conference and the retreat. I had no intention of organising another one this year, but them upstairs had another story, and I'm sure that these two probably, tweetering on with each other had something to do with it. So
Crystal Skulls on Twitter, that's a new one, isn't it? Right. Now, tell us about this conference.
Yeah, well, as I say, I mean, I wasn't planning on doing another one this year. I mean, as you know, I did one 2-day conference last year in Kent, and the first one we did in Glastonbury in whatever year that was before that, 2008. Yeah, we're in 2010, aren't we now? So, yeah, and basically what happened was with this one, Brian and I, my partner and I, went to view a venue, really to see whether it was suitable for me to go and do one-day workshops there. As a, it's a rural, I mean, it is rural, I mean, it's out in the middle of nowhere, up a country lane. And when we arrived, we pulled up and this helicopter went over. Well, you know my story about helicopters and how, to me, it relates to the Mitchell Hedges crystal skull. So I stood in the car park, and it was a gorgeous sunny day like this, and we looked around, and I was like, okay, I've got to be a bit more open-minded here than what I was logically thinking I was coming for. And as we wandered around the venue, I just thought, this is just perfect for a Crystal Skull conference and retreat. So, because they've got a conference room, they've got 2 huge, I mean, it's a big country manor house, manor estate. So basically people will be able to arrive on the Friday evening. This is in November, so we'll be around roaring log fires, and so yeah, people will be able to arrive on the Friday evening, and then throughout Saturday and Sunday we'll have 7 speakers, obviously you being one of them on the Saturday, yours truly. Obviously I can tell you a bit more about that in a minute as to who we've got, but yeah, it's all in, it's full board. So we arrive on the Friday evening, we have speakers, sound healing, obviously there'll be people with their skull families. You can have private sessions, healing, journeying, whatever, and then we trundle off on the Sunday evening. So once you arrive on the Friday, we're just there, 50 of us, all having a whale of a time with crystal skulls, and things are obviously about 2012, the extraterrestrials, inner terrestrials, crop circles, you name it. Hopefully, all of that, 2012 ascension, that'll all be included. So.
Well, I'm going to be talking about 2012 and conspiracies, how they start, the disinformation that's being put around out there at the moment, and how you can tell whether a conspiracy theory has any base in fact.